that's what it's been saying the whole time when I've been trying to restart it and everything.
No, yeah, you can't. You can't cancel it and come back to this. They're going to hear this discussion if you hit it right away.
I don't care at this point. It's my error.
Okay, you should be able to go live.
Thank you. Hi guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to talk for just a minute in hopes that it will catch up and you can let me know if you can hear me now. Tried to restart everything. Luckily I have an IT man here that tries to help me. So I'm just going to talk for a minute. So what I was saying that you couldn't hear anything was that Hampshire Hills is opening back up on Monday. So classes are going to be resuming, a little bit different format. A lot of socially distancing and a lot of great safety procedures are in place. So please feel free to check it out. You can sign up to use the fitness center, I believe 4 days in advance, and you can sign up to take classes 24 hours in advance. Everything will be outside for classes, which is really, really awesome, except for the pool. But you also do sign up for those as well to get your space. So make sure if you have questions to reach out, but we cannot wait to see you guys. My schedule is a little bit different for the summer just because I have children and I don't have a place to bring them. So I will still be doing live classes on Saturday, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me from here on out. And then we are also going to be doing classes my Friday flow. So there will be a live in-person class, so check that out. As soon as they release the schedule, I'll post that as well. No one's popped up yet, so I'm hoping that you can hear me. Can anyone just let me know if you can? I'm not a huge fan of technology, as you can tell. I love the opportunity though to live stream. It's pretty cool. So anyways, I'll just keep talking so then you can let me know if you can hear me. Before we begin, we're focusing a lot on our twists. As I said earlier, we're going to focus on one side of the body, get everything done there, and then switch it up to the other side. So it's a little bit of a mind-body thing today too, which I love bringing into class. But because I cannot see you, I wanna make sure that you listen to our bodies. Don't push it too hard. You know, it's very warm today. Make sure you're drinking a ton of water and just pay attention. Your flexibility may be a little bit different since it is much warmer. So you may have a little bit more space and you may feel it differently in the body after. So just be cautious and careful as you go today. But anyways, have fun. I still don't have any notes and I can't see. I can see 4 people are watching, but I have no idea if you can hear me. So hopefully. We're gonna start. And I guess I'll just pop up if I see any comments. Please start on your mat. We're gonna start sitting today, actually. So come on back to your mat. Oh, yes, you can hear me. Thank you, Shelly. Awesome. So come to your mat and come into that wide, I almost said wide Bucci, a wide stick position. So legs to the side, and then I want you to have a bend, okay? I want you to just start with a nice bend to the legs, so then everything just kind of can soften in. And take a minute, if you want, kind of sit up, sit down, and see if you can stack through the spine. Just gonna make sure there's nothing else. We can see you and hear you, perfect, thank you. All right, so legs are nice and wide, having that bend, and then just start to wake up the hips. So pull in the belly button, and almost shift your weight a little bit more to the front of the mat, okay? So it feels like you're coming forward, but you're really just sitting straight up. So if someone peeked from the sky, they would just see the head all the way through the tail, okay? Now just soften the shoulders, and I want you to take the hands and bring them right to the rib cage. And then take a big breath in and let it go. I needed that deep breath, so just gotta chill out a minute. So as you breathe, maybe take the hands around to the back now, the thumbs, and the fingertips to the front, and try to focus on that umbrella breath. So taking a big breath in, widening, taking up space, reaching to both the front and back of the mat. And then just letting it go, softening it. Perfect. So that's your breath I want you to focus on today. Take one more big breath in and letting it go. Perfect. Fingertips will come to the temples. We're just going to start twisting and waking up our spine a bit. So right from that belly button, take a big breath in, pull that belly button in nice and tight, and just twist looking over one of the legs and coming back. If you'd like to add the breath in, take a big breath in and out as you twist. Just waking up that spine. Taking one more to each direction, really bracing that lower belly, pulling it in nice and tight. Good. Now keeping the fingertips where they are, take a big circle with the chest, dipping it around, waking up that lower back just a bit more, being cautious of when you come to the back. So trying not too much to shift your chest back, open it to the sky, but still continue to reach through the spine. So So almost bringing in a bit of a back bend, reaching forward, rolling through the spine, and then a little bit of a curl through the upper back. Taking one more in this direction. And then when you get to the top, switching sides, rolling to the other side. And then feeling the active arms, so the elbows pull away and the chest really widens and opens. Good, nice big circles. Finding a gentle tuck to the chin, so you're still staying long through the spine. Good, coming up nice and tall. This time we'll take the arms to the sky, let the shoulder blades fall down the back, and we're gonna reach to one side. Good, now taking the arm, come to the other side, reaching. Finding just a little bit more rotation through the spine. We're getting it from every angle. Now this time when you come to the other side, we're going to reach, hold here. Now dip the chest and square it over the knee, really bracing the side belly, opening up through the obliques, and then rolling to the other side. Reaching, rolling, feeling that stretch through the side. One more to each direction. And as you get more comfortable, you have the option to straighten out the legs if you'd like. Feel that pull. Good, sitting up nice and tall. Arms come to that T. Reach across the belly. Really squeezing through the pectoral muscles. Finding that length through the spine and a little bit more of a twist than before, right? Good, pulling in that belly button nice and tight. Give yourself all that space to rotate. And we'll bring the arms to the sky. As we lift the arms, try to drag the heels in just a bit here, shifting the weight back so you have a little bit more space, and then press away as you pull the arms down. So dragging through those heels. You'll see this move quite a bit today as we really wake up the back of the legs. So last week we focused a lot on the back. We're still focusing on the back, but we're extending it through the entire back body. So not just our posterior chain, but also adding in the legs. Good, taking two more. And as you do this, focus on that spine so it stays nice and tall. Good, take the legs, move them in towards the midline. So one seated stick, nice long in front, and the arms will again come back to that T position. We're gonna add in the saw. Now this is one of those advanced moves and you wouldn't think it's too advanced, but it is. So what you're focusing on is that twist motion that we've seen right from the belly button. So pull the belly button in, twist, and come to the side. Now the hand that's in front will try to saw off the pinky toe. And we're not just bending over, we're gonna scoop through the spine and pull the belly button in as we extend and reach. So if you're coming from the side, if you're looking at me, you're pulling and reaching. Good, now continue to actively press through the feet. Legs are nice and long, so pull, find that twist, reach. Good, belly pulls in, stack through the spine, exhale, come back to center. Take an inhale to prepare, find that twist, find your reach. Good, big breath in, hold there. Good, so adding in your breath work. Inhaling and exhaling as you twist. Really pulling that belly button in, give yourself space. And think about that reach, that rolling through the spine. Good, take one more to each direction. Good. Beautiful. If you're not already facing long on the mat, please turn yourself so you are. We're gonna take the feet with a nice big bend, feet into the mat. Now I want you to focus on your left leg to begin. I'm gonna use left leg, right leg to just cue you here. So find your left leg, that's the one that's gonna be working first, okay? All right, arms come in front. We're gonna get right into it today. So roll the shoulder blades away from the back, and I want you to start to come back like you're rolling back into your roll up. But I want you to stop when you hit that halfway point. Belly's braced nice and tight, pulling into the spine, and then scoop the spine, roll back up to that seated position. Good, so tuck the tailbone and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Stop at that halfway, really pull in, brace here, and then roll back to seated. Now shoulders pull away from the ears as you really just drop in, extending, pulling them away. So arms are active here. Come back up. Good, stay with that tuck. Really pulling spine. Coming right back up again. And one more. This time when we come back, we're gonna hold. So find that halfway position where things are engaged, feeling tight, and roll the shoulder blades down the back. Now we're gonna hold here. We're just gonna take our left leg, pressing it away and pulling back. So you're coming in and out on the mat, just like we did with the warm-up, pressing through the heel and pulling back in, really engaging that lower leg here. So the back side, pulling the heel towards the bum. Belly still stays nice and tight, pulled in with a still big scoop through the spine, and the shoulder blades continue to roll down the back. Good. Now we're gonna add a little bit more. So as the leg drags in, we'll take the arm on the same side, reach back, and then extend, push. So as you're finding that twist, just like beginning, right from that midline, right from that belly button, as you reach and you rotate. Find big, slow, steady breaths as you roll through the spine. Good, one more here. Good. Now the leg will come in. We're gonna keep that leg moving out and in, but this time adding in the roll up. So we're going to roll all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. The leg continues to press out. Arms will reach overhead. Rib cage stays locked in. Spine is nice and long, and the arms continue to pull away. Now, we'll brace the core, bring the arms overhead, start to tuck the chin, lifting the head, neck, and shoulders. The leg will drag in back to that seated position. Good. So again, coming away, leg presses away. We start to roll down through the back. The arms reach overhead. If you need a little assistance today, you always have the great option of just reaching behind that bent leg and using that to help you come up. Good. Same thing when you reach away, you can hold on and just kind of give yourself a little bit more support. If that is still just too much, I want you to stay with just coming through that half roll up like we warmed up with, holding here, not coming all the way. Perfect. Taking two more, rolling all the way back. Slowing down the breath. Nice, slow and controlled, so we can kind of get into each of those tiny little muscles that are hiding. And then we need to make our way down to a laying position. So I want you to come all the way down and then let that left leg rest nice and long. The hands will come to the temples or right behind the head to just support the neck here, but we're gonna stay resting on the floor. And now our right leg is going to pick up into that bug position. So that 90-degree bend, the knee over the ankle, and then the shin parallel or maybe dipping a little bit higher to the sky to add a little bit more pressure, okay? Now what we're gonna do is just take this leg and single leg extended away. So locking our hips down, really finding that neutral spine and almost connection between the lower back. We'll take that right leg and press away and then pull back. Now the head, neck, and shoulders rest. We're just getting used to what the lower belly is doing here. So I want you to continue to press that lower back down. If the neutral spine doesn't work for you, then connect the lower back towards the floor. But I want you to take up space here. So widen through the hips, widen through the shoulders. Think about lengthening out through the back of the leg as you reach, dragging in and out. Good, now keep tucking the rib cage down. Keep tucking your chin, so lengthening. Nice long spine. Now we're not gonna just stay here. I wanna add in a little bit more. So the right leg will press away, the left leg drags in. If you're on a carpet, the mat's gonna move apparently. So dragging it back. So you're working with dragging one leg on the mat and the other one continues to press away. Now if this is too much on the back, lose a level, okay? Let the other leg, that left leg, stay stationary if it needs. If not, if you'd like a little bit more, we're going to twist that foot on the ground. Knee comes in, we'll twist, and then roll back to start. Good. So find that twist. Again, pulling from the shoulders, take them space. So you're almost reaching from the shoulder, not from the elbow. Good, think about widening up. Good, two more like this. And last one. Good, coming down, taking the foot to the floor, bringing your left leg in as well. But the left leg will look just a bit different as we'll roll onto the toe of the foot, lifting that heel back. Now, setting up for a bridge pose, I want you to take the shoulder blades nice and wide, arms long against the body, and we'll tuck and roll the tailbone one vertebrae at a time coming up. So letting go of the belly, really bracing the back body here, squeezing the bum, the back of the legs, the lower back, all that good stuff. But we have our left heel that's off the mat here. Now, when you're ready, slowly tuck the vertebrae and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Now find that wave-like motion as you start to tuck, rolling up, holding here. So you're landing on the shoulders, staying off the neck, and then I want you to just roll back down again. So just start to wake up the spine a little bit more. We did a lot of warming up in this sense, but we're really using the back body, that powerhouse, to hold us up. So I want you, if you can, get handsy. Take your hand, feel the lower back, feel how it's contracting and holding you up, squeezing, maybe feel your bum. Make sure that they're turned on and that the thighs are relaxed as much as possible. Roll back down. Good, scoop and roll, find your way back up again, and hold here. We're gonna find little dips. It's almost like you're coming halfway down and squeezing, pressing up even higher. Really engaging the back. If you can't feel that's happening, it's right in that lower back area. So hopefully you can feel that engagement there. If not, take your hand. See if you can feel that muscle squeezing and contracting. That's where you want to stay. Take 2 more. Last one, staying up at the top. Take your left leg now, press away. So as you press away and drag that foot in, I want you to continue to square the hips. And think about that even pressure through the feet. So if both knees, if both feet were down, we would be evenly pressing between the 4 corners of both feet. So keep that. Keep pressing through the shoulders, the 4 feet, the 4 corners, even though just one foot is down. Good. Take 1 more. And on the extension, leave it out nice and long here, and we'll start to tuck and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Perfect. That leg stays nice and long. So left leg's long. Right leg, this time will come to the sky. Leg can rest or can elevate if it would like for an additional challenge today. Now, the right foot's to the sky, arms stay nice and wide. We're gonna take big circles here through the hip. So taking that toe, externally rotating as you come around, and then flipping it, coming back to the top. Staying in that same direction, reaching all the way to the outside of the room, and then across the body to the other direction. Now, as you're rotating through the spine, focus on those hips. Try to keep them as stationary as possible. If you find that you're rolling around too much, that means you need to back off just a bit and make that circle a little bit smaller. Always have the option to let that long leg elevate if you haven't yet. Take 1 more in this direction, and then we'll switch it up, other way. Stay with the breath. 2 more. Last one. Good. Let the left leg rest if it hasn't yet, and then pull the right knee into the chest, finding a nice big stretch here. Trying to just stretch through the lower back, maybe add into the bum area there. Continue to find the softness through the hips. And then I want you to take that knee and the foot and cross it in front of the body. We're going to take the foot towards the mat and then press the knee away. See if you can reach into the bum. Feel that stretch. And 1 more stretch here. Let the knee come down, the foot elevate, and we'll find a little bit of a supine twist. Keeping both shoulders onto the mat. Let the back hip just release to the sky, and then that knee can fall where it would like. You can add a little pressure to the knee if you'd like to just support that twist even more. 1 last choice is to take the head, pick it up, and look towards the back arm. Finding a nice big twist through the entire spine. Perfect. All right, coming back to start. Challenge for you today. We're gonna roll up and we're gonna add in almost like a teaser leg. So this right leg that's in our bug position is going to just press away in that single leg extension like we've seen. And the left leg is going to do the same thing. It's going to drag in like we've seen, and the foot stays at the mat. But we're gonna add in a roll up as we do it. So if you want to watch, feel free. We're gonna take the arms overhead. So my right foot is up, the knee is over the ankle, it's elevated in that bug, and my left leg is down on the mat. Okay? Now, I'm going to brace the belly, tuck my chin, inhale to prepare. On my exhale, the arms circle overhead, and then I start to lift through my head, neck, and shoulders. Now here's where the change happens, the brain starts to work. We're gonna drag the left foot in and press away with the right leg. Good. So you're rolling up to that almost half teaser, right? And then same thing, you roll back, the leg stays elevated, the arms continue to circle and you come back. Now always have the option as you roll up to grab hold to the legs for support. That's okay. If this is too much, I want you to just play with coming to that half hold here and then rolling back up again, okay? All right, if that is still too much, the right leg always has the option to come back down towards the floor and just roll through with switching which legs are coming back and forth, all right? So I want you to take 4 more wherever you are. Feeling the opening through the entire spine. Good, 2 more. And the last one. Beautiful job. When you roll back down, I want you to take both knees into the chest and give yourself a nice big hug and rock back and forth. See if you can release through the lower back this time. All right, if you've rolled off your mat, just find your way back on. And we're gonna bring the feet up to that bug position. Knees will be together. And then the feet almost parallel or again reaching towards that corner of the room. But make sure the knees stay stacked right over the hips. Now we're gonna take the fingertips into the temples, avoid pulling on the neck, and we'll tuck the chin and just find a little tiny crunch as we peek through the legs. Good. So thinking about just bringing that rib cage, pulling it down towards the hips, hollowing out the belly. Good. And then rotating back. Keeping in mind, watchful eye on those rib cage, that they don't jut out, that they stay tucked in, and the belly stays engaged the entire time. Now think about the width, think about taking up space. So not pulling from the shoulders, from the elbows, but just taking the whole body, the upper belly, the upper back as it rolls up in one long line here, peeking through, and then rolls back down. Taking one more like this. Good, now hold. We're gonna take a little side twist. So keeping legs where they are, we're gonna take our back shoulder, or actually let's just say your right shoulder, and we're gonna reach it across to the left knee. Good, so just adding in a little bit of a crunch twist here, but avoiding doing anything different with the legs. Just rotating off that right shoulder and waking up our left oblique just a little bit more. So thinking about squeezing the ribs to the hips, just like before, but adding in that twist motion. All right, taking one more like this, we're gonna hold up here, then take your right leg, pressing it out, pull back in. So finding your single leg extension, holding in that squeeze. So really reaching through that top pocket. And then thinking about the leg as it extends away. So one long motion all the way through, not just from the hip to the knee to the ankle. I want you to think about it pulling from the rib cage, from the shoulder blade, all the way down. Take 2 more. Last one. Good, knees come back in. Give yourself that little hug. We're gonna reset to the other side for just a moment, and then we get to change it up. So bringing the knees right back, find a little bit of a crunch again. Won't do too many on this side because we've already done this part. Taking 2 more on the last one. Good, now take this time the left shoulder, reach it towards the right knee, and come back. Really widening out. Thinking about the breath. If this is too much on the chin, I want you to support the neck just a little bit more, maybe taking a little bit more of a pause in the back if you need to. On the next one, I want you to hold up in that side, reach here, hold here, and then take the left leg, pull it away, and back in. Continue to pull the shoulder blades away, trying to reach the corners of the room. Really squeezing that belly, feeling this stretch through the entire powerhouse. Good, take 2 more. Last one, nice. Give yourself one more nice big hug. And then we are going to roll to our side. So, stacking from the sky, if you're looking from the sky, you want to be a nice long pencil here. And you want the hips to stack, the knees to stack, the ankles to stack, and the shoulders to stack. The head will rest right on the arm here, and both arms will come overhead. Now, if this makes you already feel a little bit wobbly, I want you to take the feet almost towards the diagonal, towards the front of the mat. It gives you just a little bit more like leverage to play with here. But continue to take the bum, press it forward so that top hip rolls forward, and then engage the core. So really bracing the belly, the side obliques, pull them up and in. Awesome. Now the arms are overhead. What we're gonna do is take this top arm, circle it overhead, and reach, finding almost like a cobra stretch as we're coming up with that side bend. Good. So similar to the beginning when we found that side bend, this time though we're doing it on our side. So we're adding in that drag of the arm. And I don't want you to press through the arm, I want you to pull through the obliques, and that's how you're lifting and lowering. Good, so pull in and reach, really squeezing that side body back down, and then extend. Come up again, pull, reach. And it doesn't matter how high you're lifting. If you're only coming here today, that's okay. What matters is that the side body is staying engaged and pulled in, and then you're locking it in on the side here. So you're really reaching the hips down, pulling the rib cage down. Good. Now taking one more like this, or option to add in the leg lift. As you reach, that leg will reach, and you may find that maybe perhaps you're not lifting as high now, and that's okay. We're going to take 3 more like this. Good, 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. Now as you're lifted, I want you to come to the elbow. So your lower elbow here. And then take your top leg, flex the foot, and bring it in back of the long leg, the long lower leg. Now, when you're on your elbow should be underneath the shoulder, and I want you to continue to roll the shoulder blade back. So you may find that the chest opens a little bit more to the sky. That's okay, but focus on maybe pulling that top shoulder down so you're still opened up, but then the hip gets more engaged here, okay? So I want the engagement of the core, so spine stays nice and long here. Now, we're gonna focus on that lower leg. Top arm has choices. It can hold on here, it can come to the hip, or it can reach to the sky. We're gonna take the lower leg, lifting it up and lowering down. So as you lift and lower, you're not looking for height here. What I care about is that the body is still doing what I need it to do. Excuse me. So the hip stays pulled in, the spine stays nice and long and stacked. Good, so keep lifting and lowering. Take 2 more. Last one. Now bend at the knee, we'll tap at the ankles, flexing the foot, press the heel away. Good. So continue to check in with that side shoulder here, that you're not collapsing in, staying nice and lifted. You may find that the hips are starting to roll back and the pelvis is reaching more to the sky. I want you to take that front hip, really pull it down. When you stay long, stay there. We're gonna do tiny little circles, any direction that you choose to start, because you get to switch. Come to the top and switch directions. Good, stay with the breath. Good. Trying to find, a nice big bend to that knee. We're gonna take our top leg here now, lifting it up and then lowering down. And you may find you wanna take it to the other side of the foot, that's okay. For me, that's what works better, gives me more space. As you're lifting and lowering, I want you to feel it through the obliques. Feel that crunch happening from the bottom end. Good, but also through the back body. Through the bum, maybe through the outside of the hip, through your IT. Take 1 more. Now, bringing the ankles together, we'll come through with that clam. So knees will come together and then they'll open back up. Again, take that top hip, press it forward. Good, taking 1 more. Then let the knees stack, press through the shoulder, the elbow, and lift off. So you're coming off your hip. Now you may find that you need to take the knees and have them a little bit more in line with the body if that feels better, or maybe you need to take the shoulder and walk it in or out at the elbow, whatever works for you. But I want you to find space here. So you're really taking the side belly, pulling it up and in. Okay, now we're gonna come through with little tiny hip dips. about squeezing through the shoulder blades, through the obliques. 2 more. Last one. Staying elevated here, we'll take the top arm, rotating it around, so we're peeking towards the floor and coming back. You may find that you want to have that goalpost arm, so it kind of gives you a better gauge of where you're coming. That's okay. So as you twist, think about twisting right through that midline, turning on those obliques. The next time we come down, I want you to take both arms in front of you. So your chest is dipping towards the floor, the forearms are down, but then the hips stay stacked, the knees stay open here. So you're twisting right from that belly button. Now, I want you to come through with a little tiny tuck to the pelvis and bring the belly button in, pressing through the hands, almost like you're pressing back to like a child's pose or almost like a down dog or dolphin pose, and then shift yourself forward, squeezing through the side belly. So lift up, hold here. Good, now shift back. Pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears. Find that length through the spine. Focus on that breath. Take 2 more. Last one. As you come around, come to the belly, and then I want you to walk yourself up to a tabletop position. So the knees will be stacked right underneath the hips, the hands right underneath the shoulders. Now, pulling the belly button in nice and tight, we'll take our front leg and reach it long. Hips continue to pull down, so I want you to drop that front hip down, so you're squared off right to the floor, and then we'll tap and raise that foot. Now, as you lower and raise in this pointer position, I want you to keep your weight shifted right above the midline, so you're not coming back and forth, and the spine will stay as still as possible. So to avoid that overarching, really squeeze through the armpits and try to grow from the tailbone. All right, when you stay up, I want you to stay lifted here. Now take that opposite arm up. So you're finding that pointer position, and then drag the arm long to a T. Now, adding in your twist, reaching, rolling through, keeping that leg elevated and the spine pulled in. Roll through. Keep taking that foot, reaching it as far away as you can. Last one. Hands come down, leg stays elevated. We're going to push up for 5. So taking the elbows, reaching them towards the back of the room, bending at just the waist, and then press through. So really turning on those triceps here. Finding 3 more. Continue to drop through that front hip. 2 more. And your last one. Perfect, nice job. Now we're going to switch directions. So we did everything on one side. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, okay? Hopefully you can remember everything that we've done. So I'm gonna turn my mat just a tiny bit so you can see me a little better and I don't have my back to you as much. But this time my right leg, hopefully your right leg as well, if you listen to my cues, will be the one that's moving in and out, okay? All right, so starting in that seated position, right from the top, we are going to find that roll down and just find that almost like we're about to hit to the floor, stopping, and then stacking the spine, rolling back up through. So really engaging the core, taking those heels, dragging them down to the floor, and then rolling back up. Now, as we're a little bit more tired, we might be starting to lose our form. So focus in on the shoulder blades, pulling them away from the ears, really pulling the belly button into the spine, finding that strength there that's hiding. Good, keep that. As you get to that halfway point, when you feel like you're right there, stop, hold. Feel the brace of the core, the belly is in nice and tight, arms pull away. Take your right leg, drag it away, and back. So try to avoid shifting through the spine. I want this upper portion of the body to stay as still as possible, okay? So from the hips up, that's still, that's stationary, it's frozen in time. Just that right leg is rolling away. And try to keep that left leg as still as possible too. I know there's some shaking, but try to stay still. All right, now adding in that arm. As the leg reaches away, we find that twist and that reach. Good. Feel that pull. Good. Really finding that twist, turning on our obliques even more. Reaching and rolling. And I know I'm going quick today, but I feel awful about that sound issue. So we're gonna just fire through. Now take this leg, we're gonna add in that roll back, releasing through the spine. So the right leg drags away, the entire spine comes long. We'll find that moment of stretch, the arms reach overhead. Now lift the head, neck, and shoulders, the arms circle, the leg drags back in, we come back to our seated position. Good, so again, press away on that right leg, start to scoop through the spine, come all the way down, keeping the ribcage in nice and tight. And then big breath in as you start to prepare to come right back up again. Now keep the shoulder blades pulled away from the ears. Feel the roll through the entire spine. And roll back through as you come back up. Good, reach and roll back. Really bracing the core. On the next one, I'd like you to stay nice and long. The arms will come in towards the temples, but we're resting through the spine to start. Your right leg stays nice and long. This time our left leg will peek up to the sky in that bug position. So softening through the hips, I want you to find that neutral pelvis. So maybe a little bit of a tip to the spine, or maybe you're finding that flat back if that's what supports your spine better for you today. Now hips are square to the sky, spreading nice and wide, both pressing down. Shoulders are down. Elbows stay out to just find that softness through the chest. Now all that will move this time is our left leg. We'll find that single leg extension as we press away, opening up through the hip, and then pulling back in, turning on the back side of the leg. So just finding that just tip through the leg as you press and come back. The rest of the body should stay nice and still. The belly, although it doesn't feel like it's doing much, I want you to think of the action coming from the belly button. So you're pulling, you're bracing as you lift and extend away, taking that lever, reaching away, and then pulling back in. Good, now we'll add in a little bit more, taking that right leg. As the foot comes in, the leg stays out. And then as the leg comes in, we'll twist, reaching towards the knee on the floor. Good, so reaching, dragging in, finding the shoulder as you try to make that connection through the knee. Really squeezing, lifting, lowering down. Focusing on nice, big, strong, slow, steady breaths. Take two more. And our last one. Good. Both legs come in, except this time, we're going to take our right foot and have it in that, high heel position. So the heel is lifted. And again, we're rolling up to our bridge. Now the feet will still be stacked right in the same position. And I want the feet to be outside of the knees. So when you roll up, you don't have the knees reaching over the foot, okay? Arms are gonna be coming long next to the body. Take a big breath in. Start to scoop that lower belly, reaching up, pelvis to the sky, squeezing the back body as you lift up. Good, so you have your front heel lifted, your right leg, and squeezing through the back. Now just roll back down again, one vertebrae at a time, finding that moment of pause. And then again, inhale, find your way. On the exhale as you rotate up. Take your big breath in, and then exhale, roll back down. Find your release. So as you roll through the spine, just use this moment of just kind of getting used to releasing through the front body. Finding the softness through the hips, finding our softness through the quads especially, and let the hamstrings turn on, let the bum work, let the lower back work. Now, the next time when you come up, I want you to hold there, squeezing through the belly. We'll find the little tiny dips, lifting and lowering. Remember, right from that lower back, through the bum, from our powerhouse. Good, lifting up and down. One more to the top, holding here, taking your right leg, dragging it away onto the floor, and pulling back in. Staying square through the hips, the shoulders, finding that width. avoiding just the rocking back and forth, but just thinking of yourself as a board. So one long plane here. Good. Next time that leg stays long, I want you to leave it there and start to just roll down one vertebrae at a time. Leg stays nice and long, left leg to the sky. Now coming through with those circles, arm can come wide if they'd like, right leg can elevate if it would like. We'll draw a nice big circle, finding that rotation, the outside of the leg opening up, and then rolling through, letting the knee reach to the opposite direction. Again, paying attention to the hips, that they're not rotating too much. When you get to the top, switch directions. Nice big circles the opposite way. One more like this. Good, take that knee in, give yourself a nice big squeeze here. Releasing through the lower back. Just slowing down the breath. Now take that foot across the body, foot to the mat, take the knee, press it away. If you need to hold on to the ankle, that's okay. I want you to feel this through the outside of the thigh, through the bum. Try to soften through the lower back so you can just feel that stretch the entire body. Good, one more stretch here. Take the knee right across the body, lifting up that left hip, finding that nice big supine twist, and then option to add in the head lift to the back of the room if you like. All right, coming right back in, we're gonna add in that roll up. So the left knee is bent to the sky, right knee is on the mat, or right leg, excuse me. Arms are overhead. Now we'll tuck and roll. The left leg reaches away, the right foot drags along the mat as you come up to that seated position, and then roll yourself right back down again. Good, finding that nice big roll up. I don't know what's being read. Keep going with that. I never stop talking. I've never stopped talking, Dad. So stay with that roll. Pull the belly button in nice and tight. I talk because it's the only way I can get through this without music. And one more here. Reaching up, finding that length through the foot. Come back down again. Now roll onto your side. We are almost to the end. We're gonna find a nice long line. So again, if they were peeking from the sky, the feet are stacked, the hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, and arms are stacked. Now, pull the side belly in to prepare, okay? We're gonna make sure we engage those obliques nice and tight. If you feel like you're already a little bit top heavy here, take the feet, let them reach towards the front of the room, and then take that top bum, that top hip, pull it forward, okay? So really engaging the core to just even hang out here, right? Now, that top arm is gonna find that a little oblique crunch here. So it will reach overhead and we drag up. Remember, you're avoiding pulling up on that arm, letting the arm do the work. You're letting the obliques take over. Now let the arm again press away as you rotate back down again. So lifting up, holding here, it doesn't matter how high you lift. It's that squeeze that happens through the side. And you know those little love handles, we're tackling those today. Good, stay in reach. Roll back down. Good, finding that opening, that breath. And one more here like this. If you'd like, oh, I got stuck on that one. If you'd like the option to add in the leg lift, please feel free to do so. Good, keep rolling through, reaching, dragging down, and pressing away. Taking two more. Oh, I can feel myself just starting to get even more tired. And one more. Good, as you're up here, I want you to come onto the elbow, stacking it right underneath the shoulder, and then let that top leg bend. Now, find your positioning again. So we kind of already am coming back, right? And the pelvis opens to the sky and the chest dips back. I don't want that. I want the chest to still be open, but the shoulder to stack and the hip to stack. So you may need to take that knee and really pull it forward. Good. Now hands can come where they need to support you. If it's here, that's okay. Maybe it's here and holding on and reminding yourself what's engaged, okay? Now take that leg, lift it up and down. Remember, not about how high you lift today. Maybe you're just finding a little tiny micro lift, but it's what happens when you lift, right? I want you to feel the entire leg as it turns on, lifts through the hip, maybe even into the lower belly. Good, feeling that raise in that lower. Take one more. Now bring in that foot, flexing the foot, tapping at the ankles, press away with the heel. Continue to pull the shoulder down. Stay with the breath. I promise we are almost done. I know we're getting close on time. The worst part is I just realized I did not set my watch, so I have no idea. I'm not getting credit for this workout. Now take the toe pointed, draw little circles. Stay here, stay pulled into the side. As you get to the top, switch directions, please. Continue to lengthen through the side. Find that squeeze through the obliques. Good, now bend that foot, pull it right in. Take that top leg, we're lifting it up now and tapping, raising up. Good. So continue to pull out of that shoulder. I started to kind of collapse in, getting a little bit more here. I want you to find some space, like you can fit a big orange right in between your shoulder. One more. As the foot comes down, bring the heels together, the toes together. We'll open up and close in that clam. So knees come down and rotate up. So this is a great time to check in with that top hip to see if maybe it kind of opened up a little bit more than it was supposed to. And take it, roll it forward. Okay? Stay with that lift and that lower. Two more. Last one. As the foot comes down, again, we're gonna press the knees back in line if that's what works for you, and find that side hover, that side plank. Now, shoulders might be getting a little bit more sore. We are almost done here. We're gonna take that top arm. I don't remember if this is where, nope, we're gonna do tiny dips first. So little tiny dips, up and down, squeezing through the shoulder blade, squeezing through those obliques. Stay here. Take two more. Last one, staying in that top pocket. Let the arms circle down and then raise right back up again. Good, feeling that twist right through the midline. Rolling through. Two more. And on your last one, stay with that chest dipping towards the floor. The elbows come down. Now we're gonna find that little scoop through the spine, pulling the belly button in, pressing through the forearms, finding almost that cat and cow, that down dog, that dolphin press, and then rotate back to that nice long spine. Good. So you're almost dropping right back in here. Lifting up, squeezing, dropping back in. And last one here. Good, back to that cat-cow position, onto our tabletop. Hands come down right underneath the shoulders, the knees right underneath the hips. We'll take our front leg and we'll take it nice and long. So find your squareness first before you do any lifting and lowering. A nice long spine, and then I want you to lift and lower from the hip. Now as you're lifting, keep that front hip drop down so you avoid rotating externally. Try to keep that leg as parallel as possible. The chest dipping right to the midline. Take two more. And last one. As the leg stays up, hold here and take the opposite arm, lifting away in that pointer position. So really bracing the spine nice and long. Now take that arm wide to the T and we'll rotate it under. Good. Now you may find you get a little bit tired You get a little bit dizzy as you rotate here. So really press that forearm, press the hand down, press the shin down, excuse me. So really rotating and opening. Try to keep the spine as stacked and lengthened as possible. And one more. Hand comes down, leg stays nice and lifted. We'll find those 5 tricep push-ups as you rotate back and lift, squeezing through the backside of the arms, squeezing through the bum, finding that tip right through the hip. And I think I lost count. So we're gonna come through with just one more. Good, take the knee down. We're gonna press up to a cat and cow. Finding just a couple more minutes to stretch here. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me today, that crazy start there. I don't know what happened, so you couldn't hear me. And I was on a roll going on and on about the club and all the great things coming. So, if you didn't hear from the beginning, we are opening back up at the club on Monday, which is really awesome. Now sit back for a shell stretch. A lot of things will be offered online still, the same schedule, so you can still join me on Saturdays here and on Fridays for flow. There will be another class that I'll be adding to the outdoor schedule. So as soon as they post that, I'll post it on my page, so if you want to follow along there, I can tell you more. But it's Kim Burke. I'll write a comment, so you can always follow along if that's easier. Add a little twist here. You do need to sign up online though. So you can sign up 24 hours in advance for classes. I believe 4 days in advance for use of the fitness center, and you have an hour and a half, which is totally awesome. They've moved things, they've added in barrier walls, they've added in amazing, just different ways to clean. So I believe truly that we will be safe. I wouldn't be going back if I didn't think so. And I'm so impressed with the way that the club has handled everything. So I hope to see so many of you back there. If not, I totally understand. It is all about what is your comfort level. And if you find that you need a little bit more time, we still are offering these online classes, so you can still join us, still take care of yourself. There are always those walking trails. There are always the use of the greens, you know, the fitness. The club has so much more than just what's in those walls. So take use of those opportunities, get outside, enjoy these beautiful days that we're getting. It's gonna kind of cool down tomorrow, which is gonna be nice to just kind of be again. So I thank you guys so much for joining me week after week. This has been kind of a really great thing for me to look forward to, and I hope for you as well. And I hope that you're still not gasping for breath yet. So have a great day, guys. I hope that you're staying well. Please let us know if you need anything, and take care.